Okay, welcome back. Today we're gonna be playing some Trick or Treat. It's just anime visual novel. I think it's supposed to be a horror because you're trying to escape this forest, I think. And there's 8 possible endings. Me personally, I've never seen gameplay of this. I don't know if anybody's ever played this before. Well, I mean, of course people have. But I mean, like YouTubers, like big YouTubers, you know. So if you guys think I'm copying, I promise you I'm not. I don't think there is anybody who's playing this, but I mean, you know, let's get started. You know. Oh, if you guys hear chewing, oh man, this is a creepy thing to. Oh, come on, guys, seriously. Why does it have to be this music? Okay, well, let's start. But if you guys hear chewing or anything, or like swallowing, that's because I have some ramen. What the heck? Okay, wait, let me just let me turn this down. Let me turn up the text speed. I'm gonna read, and I'll see if you guys want me to read later. So, it's terribly dark in this place. The dense vegetation makes it impossible to see the sky or light from the moon. Our flashlights are the only thing that light up our way. At times like this, one begs to not run out of battery. We walk without knowing what we are really looking for, or better said, for no reason. Who's the other person with me? Oh, we are just a group of boys bored with our lives. Dude, why would you do this? You know, I wouldn't. I'm trying to create a lasting memory on this night instead of just staying home and doing nothing. Oh no, I would rather stay. What the heck? Today is October 31st, All Hallows Eve, better known as Halloween. Who does this? 3 young men walk through a dark, but up until now, nothing special for us, me being one of them. We are doing it to prove our courage. It is too bad there isn't a girl here to see how brave we are. No, I wouldn't do this even if there was a girl. No! Why, guys? I thought you're just stranded. Maybe somebody drugged you or something. No, I'm just 3 casual boys. You know, it's like, hey, let's go into this dark, creepy forest. You know, like nothing bad will ever happen. And on Halloween, also, jeez, guys, how stupid can you be? I'll try to be like criticism to anybody who's done this, but jeez, guys, why? Seeing it like that, one could say this is a meaningless effort. Sorry, guys. Sorry if I'm burping, you know. For a moment, I stopped to look at my watch. It's 1:49 a.m. This means we have been walking aimlessly for more than 2 hours now. Oh, wow. Why are your feet hurting? I'm sure that many people would find a place like this terrifying. But once you get used to it, the fear disappears, making it feel like normal. What makes us afraid of the dark is that we cannot know what hides in it or lurks in the shadows. But this is clearly an empty darkness. At that moment, I sigh, feeling how tired my legs are. Okay, there we go. Nah, I see. Now how tired you are. What is the point of being here? Clearly, we had already demonstrated what we wanted. It would be best to return, I should tell them. Oh, well, then you guys go into, this fog. I was about to speak when suddenly the atmosphere in this forest becomes strange. Suddenly, a cold chill runs through my body. It was like any other chill, except it was not going away. For no reason, the air's temperature dropped from 1 second to the other. That's weird. So much so, my breath became visible, turning into mist. It doesn't end there. The air is now filled up with a rotten smell, just a little short from being unbearable. Images of worms and flies soon appear in my mind, giving me a really unpleasant feeling. We all stop at that moment. Okay, this is Axel. I don't know him. Actually, I know an Axel in real life, so that's pretty cool. I don't know this Axel though. What's happening? I asked, confused, while turning to look at my friends. Oh, he's Axel. Okay, I'm Axel. But the expression on their faces, it was easy to know that they were just as lost as I was. It was then we heard footsteps nearby that did not come for any of us. Okay, that actually really freaked me out, to be honest. Oh, man. It's nighttime, too, so it's it's legit. It's 7:08 where I am, so it's pretty dark, so it's kind of creepy. We all got dead quiet after that. I don't know if it was out of fear to check or to check if it was a mistake, but we stay motionless like statues without making a noise, just looking at each other's faces, wondering the same thing. Friend. Oh, his name is Friend. Oh, hello, Friend. Like who says that? The teacher's like, what? Is your name actually Friend? Oh yeah, my name's Friend. You know, you can call me Friend. I mean, I can be your friend. You know, it's like, what? No. Friend says, what was happening? As if I could know. We heard the steps again. They clearly begun to a human, or at least to a large animal, but there is something strange about them. It sounds as if the person walked dragging one foot. Just thinking about it made me shiver. Now that sounded like they were picking up both feet. Okay. Dang. Why is this happening? It makes no sense. Oh. We should have returned home before, but now it's too late to regret it. I have the feeling that we are being stalked by someone. The strange footsteps stop, but I'm feeling the presence nearby. I don't know where it is, but I know it's looking at me. That cursed thing is looking at me. My heart is beating anxiously. It's almost as if my body was telling me to get out of there. But strangely, my friend seemed unable to perceive it. It seems that it's gone. It must have just been an animal. Said one of them, convinced that we were safe. I would like to believe that too. We had a sigh of release. However, bad luck was to strike us again. Oh, he's saying this like, oh man. Anyway, let me just eat some more ramen. Sorry guys, I like ramen. It's one of my favorite meals. Unexpectedly, the forest became darker than before in just the blink of an eye. Hi. Look, it looks like a cow head, you know. Pretty cool. But then it wasn't. Oh no! But that wasn't the fault of the forest, but ours. But our flashlights went out, which went out. Of the three, only one, mine, was still working. What's going on? Did the batteries die? Maybe the presence is taking interest in us, not my two friends, and they're gonna die. Well, I'm gonna most likely survive. Asked one of them, scared, while they both beat them desperately, as if that was going to revive them. I can't believe them. The idea of walking in the darkness was not pleasant for anyone, but after a few moments, we had no choice but to resign ourselves to that. Once more, the sound of our footsteps is heard. But the silence is different now. We are not quiet because we have nothing to say, but because we are afraid. We continue walking, despite the fear that invades us. Visibility is almost zero, but we have no choice. In theory, we were walking back looking for the exit, but I cannot remember anything of this forest. We could be walking in circles, and I would never notice it. Never notice it until it is too late. I hate the thought of it. I just want to get the. Suddenly, my thoughts are silenced. We hear footsteps of someone or something. Once more, the three of us go statues, waiting the presence to go. I hold my breath while feeling my heart beating anxiously. Dang. Get away from here, and leave us alone. Unexpectedly, the steps are heard closer. This time, they do not disappear, but rather come at us. I cannot stand it. Desperately, I move my flashlights anywhere, looking for the author of those footsteps, hoping for the light to reveal their identity and erase our fears. Nothing. Is that all there is around here? Just empty air? My anxiety grows with each failed attempt. I refuse to believe that it was a ghost. Suddenly, when I move the flashlight again, I see a silhouette. I could not distinguish what it was, but for a moment, the light revealed something. Quickly, I pointed to the same place when I discovered it was gone. I held my breath anxiously. It was not an illusion. I am sure that I saw something. It was then that I heard something nearby. Without even thinking, I aimed the light towards that place. What I found leaves us paralyzed with an expression of disbelief on her face. It's a white cat with the eyes of intense red which stands before us. Her look is not the friendliest to say something. However, somehow I get the feeling it's a female cat. Yeah, it kind of just looked like a female cat, you know? Like, kind of like, you kind of tell, like, how the cats, what gender the cats are by, like, looking at them, you know? You know, that's just, like, what I like to think, you know? Like, just a sec, I'm eating ramen. Do it. Like, my two cats, well, I used to have two cats, no, we only have one. You could tell, like, which gender they were. Suddenly, she lets out a thunderous meow that leaves us terrified. It sounded more like a lion roaring than a simple cat. The echo of her meow is heard throughout the forest, making it sound more sinister than it should be. Okay, wait, let me, press them in. It was then that suddenly an inexplicable force hit us three, sorry. I fell to the ground, and little by little my eyelids closed, the fatigue becoming unbearable. Oh, my friends are dead. I lose consciousness, I don't know, on the ground. I know what it means, but I just can't say it. On the ground, on the floor, without knowing what was going to happen to me. Interlude before night falls. It is a day like any other, so normal that it was almost painful. The only special thing that could be said about it is that it's October 31st. Far were my memories when I was a kid. Went out with my friends to have sweets from house to house. Just remembering it made me sigh. I feel nostalgic. Some things like that. Some things were better when I was a child. At least seems like that. There were some who had good costumes, whether superheroes or monsters. How old are they? My friend and I, on the other hand, had to use our imagination. Creativity was our costume, you could say, no matter how funny it could sound. I remember that my mother once painted red my face and told me, "You will be the devil." But it seemed only she saw it that way. When we went from home to home, everyone said that I was a tomato man. But those things didn't matter to me, since we always had a good time. If I asked for candy now, even if I had the best costume, I'm not sure no one would give me anything, except perhaps scolding for acting like a child when I was 17. When I am, he's 17 years old. That answered my question. But anyway, I can't stay in the past. I must live in the present, no matter how little exciting that might be. Back to reality. We are a group of friends who don't have any plans for today. We are still not old enough to go to a disco, and I doubt guys like as us would have any luck in that environment. The other options would be to go to a party, meet girls, and have fun. But who cares about girls? Now it's just around. Everything's perfect, except that nobody has invited us. Not being popular has its disadvantage. Hey Axel, let's have a couple of matches. What do you say? My friend Steven called my attention while playing with the game console. Rushford? I believe that's what the game is called. A fast and quite complicated fighting game for me. I would normally agree to play with him, but for some reason, I don't feel in the mood today. I have no desire to play it now. I played with discouragement. I almost felt bad for doing it. Boring! The AI is no rival for me, Steven said with confidence. That you're playing on normal difficulty does not help your argument. I don't feel like losing, but if you want, you can challenge Alfred. You can challenge to Alfred. I said, leading the attention to my other friend. I don't know how to play that, answered Alfred, doubting for a second. He is sitting behind the PC, but it seems that he isn't doing anything interesting. The screen only shows a lot of text. I think he is in Wikipedia. Hey, don't you have something more fun to do? I asked with discouragement, without even thinking about what he was reading. Alfred looked at me surprised. The actual problem with society is that people are not interested in discovering their history. He's one of those pseudo intellectuals, always looking for any rare information to appear smarter than others. When we forget our past mistakes, we are doomed to repeat them, he added later. What are you talking about? This village is small, and its story is not interesting at all. Nothing outside of the normal has ever happened to it. What about that white cat we just saw, bruh? I mean, then again, this is before, but you know, I'm gonna save real quick. Yeah. We can go back. Alfred laughed mockingly after hearing that. Your ignorance is worthy of praise. He paused, filling his chest with pride. The very fact it is a small town is the reason it's full of mysteries. Did you know that 20 years ago on this date, a man disappeared? So, what about it? I ask without being impressed or even interested in the least. Things like that happen all the time in all places. As I thought, you don't know the history despite living in this very place, Alfred said while adjusting his glasses in an arrogant gesture. This is a legend behind the disappearance. That is what I was reading. Oh. After listening to him, I looked back at the computer stream with curiosity. It's then that I noticed that it was not Wikipedia, but some other page. Come on, read this and learn a little, Alfred said, inviting us to read what was on the screen. Both Stephen and I moved closer to read it. Oh wow, it's actually a lot of fun. Town of blah 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 country. Alright now, Oxfordshire country. I came to this town with only 4,000 inhabitants to support them in my investigation. In an investigation. Truth is, nothing in my life I've ever seen something this strange. I won't say your typical detective-ish nonsense that I've seen thousands of strange things in my life. I've seen many crimes, yes, some difficult to solve, but all of them were human. Even if you don't know how they managed to perpetrate the crime, you know that they are people like anyone else. In this case, I don't think I'm able to say the same thing. Truth is that I can't understand what happened. I was called for the disappearance of a man called Matthew Graham, 23 years, single. Last time he was seen, he was returning home from a Halloween party. He had drank alcohol, but was still sober, or at least that's what witnesses said. Anyways, this is not something which can be explained with a simple drunkenness. He apparently got lost on the way home and decided to enter a forest called Oakwood. It rained yesterday, so the ground was wet and muddy. We could easily find his traces, which were leading deep inside the forest. Apparently, he walked for 3 hours before stopping. You guys are stupid. I say stop, but the truth is, we don't know what happened then. The track suddenly ended up in a clearing in the forest. That's all. There was no evidence of a struggle, no other trace, no pieces of clothing on the ground. There was no blood, no more footprints, or anything else. The depth of his last footprints and the position that they were indicated that he was still walking. At no point he stood still. It was as if he had vaporized in the air, with all of his clothes in the middle of the walk. Obviously, I can't believe such a thing, but I can't give another explanation. The only thing I remember is that near the footprints, I sensed a faint smell of rot. However, there were no animal courses nearby. It is ridiculous to think that he suddenly just started to decay and become earth. In the end, the case was closed in just 3 days, with no evidence of any kind. We couldn't say anything but that he decided to escape from the village. However, while officially there was no more to do, I couldn't sleep in peace. Thinking about what could have happened to him took away my sleep. In my mind, I thought all sorts of theories, like maybe everything was a plan developed by Matthew. But in the end, they all seemed impossible. I decided to investigate more on the issue. I searched the town for similar stories. To my surprise, I found 4 more. All young men. The story was always the same. They walked to the forest alone, disappearing without trace. Even more curious is that all of them disappeared on the same date, October 31st. But there is more. A detail that completely eliminates the possibility that it is killer or kidnapper behind this, and that is the separation of the ears. Roger Bacon. Roger Bacon. That's a great. That last name. I mean, I'm pretty sure there's also a lot of other last names, but disappeared in 1924. Michael Mitchell Smith disappeared in 1867. Jason Black disappeared in 1813. And the worst of all, Oswald Taylor disappeared in 1707. It simply couldn't be possible. My curiosity led me to dig deeper. I thought that the answer may be in the past of the forest. It was then when I discovered that what seemed to be a simple and boring forest actually had a great story. Before it was called Oakwood or Oak Forest, the place was called Witchwood. The word witch has huge similarity with witch. Taking into consideration that it's an old name and language changes over time, that indicates that it was the forest of witches. Apparently, more than 400 years ago, the people of the village believed witches lived in the woods. Unfortunately, almost all the information is already lost. There were stories told in voice without a properly written record. I just know that the change of religion to Christian, people stopped seeing the witches with good eyes and began to hunt them. Apparently, the last one before death cast a curse on the forest, which even today should continue to exist. Anyways, obviously I cannot accept something like this. That is the answer. In the end, I have no other choice than accepting that each one of them escaped from the village using the legend of the forest to make it look like it was something supernatural. Oh. Then why are you guys going out there? You guys are one of the stupidest people I have ever met. Like, legit. I mean, maybe it's not real or anything, but I still don't want to do that. Like, even if it was like my best friends, I'd be like, dude, come on, stop being such a wuss. No, get out. No, you guys can do that, but I'm not gonna die. Bye. Like, legit. Interesting story. I didn't know that such a story was hiding in this town. I said honestly surprised, even if it is a lie. I managed to hold my interest. Wait, there's something more, Alfred said at the same time he scrolls to the comments. Read what is written there. A couple of comments call our attention. Both of them talk about some creature. At that time, they felt a horrible fear for what could happen to them. While the 2 comments share great similarities, but they could have been written by the same person. There are many others that deny it. Looks like people went to the forest because of the legend, but couldn't find anything. I thought that you only read these things to look more cool before the girls, replied Stephen as a joke. Alfred giggles with a little shame. Partly, yes. He admitted it. That was a secret everybody silently knew. Well, now we have an activity for tonight, Stephen said at the same time. He made a face overflowing with enthusiasm. What? I was completely lost. I thought we were just killing time. Simple. Let's go to that forest. Steven replied without hesitation. He seemed really fascinated by the story. Are you insane? Said Alfred, unable to believe what he just heard. You only needed to look at his face to know he did not like the idea. Despite everything you've heard, you want to go? Of course. It would be the great test of courage among us three, replied Steven, full of confidence. Perhaps too much. He should relax a bit. Don't tell me you're afraid. No. Why should I be afraid? Answered Alfred. At the same time, he folds his arm, making a false gesture of security. It's more than obvious that you are afraid, Alfred. Almost as much as when you have to talk with a girl. And what about you, Axel? Don't tell me you won't come. That was pretty funny about Alfred, though. Suddenly, Steven asked me, at the same time looking at me mockingly, don't tell me you want to be the chicken of the group. I hate that tone of voice he used. I will never give you that, I said without thinking, showing a confident smile and look. Well, let's not say more. Take your coats, backpacks, flashlights, and some food. We're going to the forest, Steven said, full of energy. Yeah! We three said in unison as if we were going to have some kind of private party, not really knowing what we were doing or what we were going to find. 2:13 a.m. Let me eat some more ramen. Oh wait, I have to click. I thought I was gonna play one. Bye. I awake, completely confused, not knowing how much time has passed. My head hurts but I can't blame it. Unfortunately, the pain goes away quickly, just as my confusion. Soon I come back to my senses. My flashlight is laying on the ground, shining towards the empty air. I immediately pick it up. It was the only protection against the darkness that surrounds me. Then I remember that Steven and Alfred were with me. Steven! Alfred! Can you hear me? Without thinking, I screamed their names in the dark while trying to find them with my flashlight, but there is no trace of them. They are gone. Where the hell are they? And what the heck just happened? I really don't understand anything. Dang, we should have stayed at home. This is not proof of courage. We could be in danger. I have to find them. Bye. No, we're not finding them. I have no attachment to them. Let's leave. Come on. Oh no. Little time has passed since I started to look for my friends, and I already can't stand this place. I'm going crazy in this forest. The darkness that covers it is unnatural. It is darkness that steals your own sanity, replacing it with anxiety. To make it worse, the air is damp and cold as in winter, carrying a strong, rot smell. Oh dang it, I didn't mean to click that, sorry. The atmosphere in this place is oppressive. With every step you take, it makes you more uncomfortable. Since I started to look for my friends, I felt that something is watching me, but there's nothing. I sighed with my voice full of frustration. I just want to get out of here. I continue walking devoid of any hope. No matter where I look or how much I walk, I find nothing. I can't even hear the sounds of animals. Rather, it seems that they are already dead and rotting. No! I have to calm myself, I said to myself. I stopped for a moment to rest. I breathe deeply, but the rotten air in this place does me no good. Immediately, I start to cough as something stuck in the throat. Dang it! What am I going to do? This cursed forest seems endless. And even if by miracle I could escape, I cannot abandon Steven and Alfred. Yes, you can. You can. Let's go. I'm really screwed up. Again, I sigh, feeling on the verge of tears. My frustration is building up, but I have to do my best to keep calm. If I fall into despair, then there's no doubt I will be joining the list of missing persons. In the end, I decide to keep walking. Step by step, I should get somewhere. At least I was convinced that staying in the same place would not do me any good, even if it was the only thing to see myself feeling that I am going to doing something. I want to continue walking. Time passes without any changes. Only the sound of my footsteps can be heard, knowing that as soon as you stop, you will be surrounded by dead silence, and it is a good incentive to keep walking. My legs were already hurting. Suddenly, I hear a crack at my feet. I instantly take a step back and look below to see what made that sound. What is this? I was myself surprised, discovering that I stepped on an animal bone. I believe that it's a form of animal, although I do not rule out the possibility that it belongs to a human. But for my own good, I prefer not to think about that. An expression of anguish is drawn on my face. It is best to ignore it. I have to keep walking. Suddenly, my flashlight reveals something. Okay! Well, this is a good time to end off the episode. We've been going actually for a pretty long time, maybe like 30 minutes. So I'm gonna end off the episode here. This is a cliffhanger, so you're welcome. Anyways, thank you my pack for watching, and bye.